Hi Internet people, it's Emily again with her anti-MLM videos. So I have this like burning question on my mind for a lot of former paparazzi consultants that, if we're being honest, how many of us quit our 9 to 5 jobs to do paparazzi full time? I did. Why did I do it? Because I thought I could actually make it work. I thought that I could actually build my business by doing an e-commerce website. I did well for a while, and I did well even after I quit with paparazzi. I didn't have any training. I didn't have any support. I didn't have any guidance besides what I had taught myself and what I knew from being a real estate agent. But I love the whole guise of you were making more income than your 9 to 5 job. Well, I want to know how many of you made that income with recruiting people versus actually selling the product. Now, I know there's a few people that actually made money selling the product. They're very prominent on YouTube. Hi, puppy. You want to come up and sit with mommy? No? Okay. Come here. Come here. Hold on a second. Someone wants to be picked up. Ooh. This is my puppy, Lily. Okay, my puppy. So, there's a few that did make money selling their 9 to 5 product. Thank you for all the kisses. Can you just sit down? No, you wanna be loved. I love my schnauzers. I'm a schnauzer mom. Okay. I didn't recruit anybody. I have a video out there when I was 300 and something pounds talking about how I refused to recruit people. Because I didn't want oversaturation in my market, for one thing, and two, I didn't feel that having excess competition was good for my business. Star consultant was all I was ever going to be because I refused to recruit. I was pressured by the upline to go to convention so I could be motivated to build my business. Do you want to get down now? You want to get down now? All right, there you go. However, I never went to convention. I was life of the party bronze. I did not go to convention. I did not recruit. And I did not make commission off of other people's purchases. It didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel ethical. It didn't feel moral. So, a lot of people want to know my views on things. Okay, so here I go. This is the hard truth. I was raised in a religion that's very prominent in Utah. And my family members, a few of them are still very active in the church, and I don't begrudge them and I don't try to talk them out of it. It's everyone's choice to practice religion or not. However, I look back at how my family was treated versus our neighbors and so on and so forth. So my family was never prominent. We weren't rich. We were always considered, I guess, the poor people in our ward, in our church group. My dad was an accountant, very hardworking, also very ethical. He refused to cook the books for a company, so they let him go. And my dad was laid off. Would you not get off and just lay down? Thank you. Sorry, she's scratching the rug down by me. You just need to stop. You just need to stop. And I came from a family of all daughters. We didn't have any sons, so we didn't have any missionaries or, people that would go and serve the church and help. It was disgusting. There was this one street where everyone was living on, and everybody on that street, they had more expensive houses, they had sons and daughters, and we called it Eternal Avenue or something like that. But everybody who lived on that street were members of the bishopric or the stake presidency or something along those lines. My dad was never called to be any of those people. And I look at how the LDS Church treated my family. We couldn't do much for them, so we were kind of ignored. When I started babysitting for people in my ward, I was a great babysitter. I was highly in demand because I was great with kids and I was a great babysitter. So I, you know, I took advantage of that. I made money off of being a babysitter starting at the age of 12. And I continued to babysit people in my ward and area until I was in my 20s. It was just something I enjoyed doing, and I enjoyed the kids. So, but that's the way paparazzi jewelry feels to me. I feel like they treat the people that are below them, who are doing something for them, as their elites, which is why they use elite in paparazzi. You grow up, if you're elite, you're making them money. You're encouraging your downline to buy things, which in turn fills up their wallet. Now, I don't understand this about where I grew up. I grew up in Utah, and a lot of people in Utah were very image conscious. They always had to look perfect, be perfect, give off the guise of perfection. And, a lot of women in my ward had breast lifts and tummy tucks, and they were always looking picture perfect. And they were always looking like they could do no wrong. And it's exhausting to act like you're perfect all the time. It's exhausting to act like you are expected to act instead of being true to yourself. And that's something that I feel about paparazzi. I've been watching upline people's TikTok videos, and they are just full of hate and rhetoric that makes me cringe. Like this one video where she did the crack the crown, and she's putting on her crown. She looks like she's being shot by a bullet in this thing, and she's like, and then she puts her crown on, and she's trying to look all whatever. It's disgusting. So on today's topic, it's just, it's disgusting. That's all I'm going to say. People who are taking advantage of other people and then making them feel guilty or ashamed if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing is very similar to, the guilt and control factor that comes with most religions. If you're in a religion, you're not supposed to drink strong drink in the Mormon religion, hot beverages. So they call that coffee. But, Coca-Cola is okay. There's caffeine in Coca-Cola just like there's caffeine in coffee. In fact, there's more caffeine and bad things for your body in Coca-Cola than there is for a cup of black coffee. But coffee is a hot beverage, so you can't drink it. It's against the word of wisdom. But you can drink Coke. Okay, whatever. So it's like, and then you learn that the church owns stock in Coca-Cola. And I had uncles that worked for Coca-Cola growing up. So it's like, one thing's bad, but the other thing's okay. But the ingredients in both things are similar, but one's hot and one's cold. So one's good, one's not. Yeah, that's another thing I don't understand. But I honestly feel like I was conned now that I look back. I had just moved up to Washington State. I was lonely. I was reaching out to my friends back in Utah. I was buying paparazzi jewelry from two of my friends back in Utah, and one of them said, hey, since you're buying all this jewelry, you should sign up under me. And then she was putting pressure because she wanted to become a director. And I figured, okay, I'll help her out. I'll sign up. And then I started getting all those text messages from the upline saying, hey, welcome to our team. Here's this, this, and this. And I was added to like the Marco Polo chat. And, you know, I got those training emails about how to build my business. And the training emails were always focused on recruiting. I didn't want to recruit because I wanted to see how I could do before I brought somebody else into a company. I wanted to see how it worked for me, to see if it was viable. And after a year and a half and doing my taxes and my Schedule C and seeing how much money I had actually lost, it was kind of an eye-opener. And I was going to keep going, but when COVID struck in March of 2020 and the country shut down, I didn't see this as a sustainable venture because I didn't feel safe putting my postal workers at risk. I did not feel like paparazzi jewelry was a need for people. I felt like it was a luxury item. Yeah, it's $5 jewelry, but I felt like it was a luxury item, and people were getting laid off left and right in hospitality. People, would you knock it off? Okay, well then come here. Come here. Oh, you big little puppy. You're 15, but you act like you're 12. So I didn't feel the need for people to have paparazzi jewelry, and I knew that I was going to be stuck at home with my husband, and our house was overflowing with all the personal volume that I had acquired. And I was like, I got to get this out of the house. I got to make space in this house. This area behind me was stacked to the gills with paparazzi jewelry. I had drawers and 2 stackable big drawer bins, you know, those Sterilite bins full of jewelry. I had a big, you know, fabric chest of drawer things that I bought on Amazon filled with bracelets. Then I had rings, buckets and buckets of rings, earrings. I had my pegboard, which I usually kept from my lives and my flash sales. I would put stuff up in sets and put them up on my Facebook as a flash sale. This is Lily. And I was overwhelmed. And then I had all the shipping supplies, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't going to work for me anymore. So I went into my back office. I downloaded all my reports, all my inventory, everything that I could think to download that I needed for my taxes for the following year, because I had already done my taxes in January. And I saved everything into a folder on my computer called Paparazzi Tax Information. And then after I did that, I quietly removed myself from the Marco Polo chat, the Team Aim High Facebook group. I went through all the people that had liked my business page and my VIP group, and if they were in my team, I removed them from those groups and made everything private. That way I didn't have people, you know, trying to talk me out of this decision. And then I sent the email to corporate saying, I no longer align with your values, and this is my resignation from paparazzi. I'm no longer an independent consultant. And I quit. They acknowledged it a day later, saying, we have canceled your account. You won't be able to sign up again for 12 months. And I was like, I'm not going to sign up ever, but thanks. And then I went to my website and I went through it, and I discounted everything down to $3.50. Fashion Fix sets, I lowered down to like $16. The Z collection pieces, I discounted to $20. And I posted everywhere I could think of in my private groups and stuff. I am no longer an independent consultant with paparazzi. I've discounted everything. Let your friends know. And when I did that, my sales really started to skyrocket. Within the first 2 months, I had over 25,000 pieces of paparazzi jewelry in my home. Within the first month, I sold a little over 8,000 pieces of jewelry on my website. By doing that, I was able to, thankfully, pay off one of my credit cards that I had built up with paparazzi purchases. I paid it off and then I closed it. And I kept selling. And it was around May that my website was due for a 1-year renewal subscription. And so I contacted Shopify and I told them I wanted to go month to month. I didn't want to pay for a whole year. I wanted to go month to month. And I did. I went month to month for a couple more months. And I got my inventory down to 9,000 pieces. So I went from 25,000 pieces in March down to 9,000. And then I started looking at eBay to see if I should offload stuff on eBay. And I saw other girls that were trying to get rid of their jewelry and selling it for super cheap. And I thought, hey, I will take on the risk because I have my website still. So I started buying lots from gals on eBay for super, super, super cheap. I put them up on my website and I started selling. By June, I was down to 6,000 pieces and I was able to pay off my American Express card. My American Express card had over $10,000 due on it. At the time, I quit paparazzi and I was able to pay that off by June by selling. Once I paid off all my credit cards, I closed those accounts because I didn't want the temptation to charge them back up again. And then I continued to buy from other gals. And then I had one girl send me a box of stuff that she got when she had first started with paparazzi. These items were in her starter kit and nobody wanted them. She found one of my YouTube videos and she found my blog and she mailed the items to me with a huge thank you note saying, thank you for saving me from making the biggest mistake of my life. And I took her stuff that she sent me and I put it up on my website and I sold it. Then I thought, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can buy from ex-consultants and sell it on my webpage. And I did that for a few months, but then I started getting burned, like big time. I was receiving jewelry that was just jumbles and piles of tangled up crap that people were sending me. I started receiving jewelry that they had altered or changed the look of it, and I couldn't sell it because it was whatever they did to it was just awful. And after being burned for the 6th time in a row, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I discounted everything on my Shopify website down to $275 a piece. So I was breaking even at that point. And I got my website. I started out with like 300 pages of inventory. At this point, when I called Shopify, I had 16 pages of inventory. And I had a little over 3,000 pieces in my web store. So I called Shopify, closed my Shopify store completely, and then I started selling everything in lots on eBay. So I put a lot of wrap bracelets, a lot of pull bracelets, a lot of clasp bracelets. I did a lot of rings with my ring trays. I did a lot of rainbow jewelry, like multicolored jewelry. Then I did a lot of sea bead, wooden Caribbean style, long necklaces, short necklaces, and then I sold things by color, and that's how I got everything else out of my store. I repackaged everything into clear cellophane packages, so it was clean and, ready for them to sell. I mean, that was the ethical and nice thing to do. But once everything got out of my house, it was like the biggest weight was taken off of my shoulders. And as a reward to myself, I bought myself an Amazon Alexa and 2 Echo Dots. No, Alexa, I'm not talking to you. And then I started looking for a 9-to-5 job again, because prior to this, like I said, I had a lot of debt from all the startup costs and all of the supplies and everything. I cashed out my 401k to pay off a lot of the debt and to, continue to build my business, which was really stupid. So I started to look for a job, but working outside of the home with fibromyalgia is extremely difficult. It's very, very difficult, especially on days where you're in a flare because the barometric pressure changed, or it's raining, or you didn't sleep well the night before, and your body hurts everywhere. And it's next to impossible to even move. So finding a new job was difficult. I am currently working. I'm only working part-time because I can't handle anything more than that. It's not that I don't want to work full-time. I physically can't. I can't work a full-time job. And when I was doing paparazzi, I was working 60 hours a week, you guys, between going live, packaging orders, taking them to the post office, uploading inventory to my website, managing my website, blogging about it. It was more work than I needed to do, which is why I gained so much weight. When I started paparazzi, I had just had a gastric sleeve surgery, which my doctor told me was not going to work, and he was right. But I was stressed to the gills, and I was dealing with fibromyalgia. And while I was doing paparazzi, I got a job working for Amazon as a delivery driver. I thought I could do it because I had to push myself because I had credit card bills that were due and I had debt. Well, on my first day working for Amazon, I fell on someone's front porch and I broke my foot. I continued to work for 3 more weeks after that, but my foot wasn't feeling better, and I went to the doctor and found out that I had broken my foot in 9 different places, and I required surgery to repair my foot. After that foot surgery, the weight continued to pile on. And if you look at some of my older videos, yeah, I'm a big girl in those videos. I was 331 pounds when I went under the knife again to have my gastric denodal switch. Not only that, I was a diabetic. I was back on my CPAP machine because I was dealing with sleep apnea again. So diabetes, mobility problems, fibromyalgia, sleep apnea. I mean, working for paparazzi, an independent distributor for paparazzi, was detrimental to my health. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Paparazzi is, it literally nearly killed me. Okay? And when I see the founder's brother on his TikTok videos talking smack and telling people that they're lazy, I can tell you this. Women who are in paparazzi and trying to make this a full-time business for themselves work harder than they do at most 9-to-5 jobs. They are working hard because they're hustling all the time. I mean, all the time. Hello, princess. Hi. So, they, and they're nonstop. They're constantly working. At least when you leave your job, you can turn off that part of your brain and enjoy your life. And when you get home and you're doing a side hustle like paparazzi, go to your bed. You get home from your 9-to-5 and then you have to start working your side hustle. So when do you have time for you? When do you have time to focus on you and your health and well-being? You don't. You don't have time for you because you're constantly working in one way, shape, or form or another. I can't tell you how many times I neglected my housework, my husband, my dogs, which she's over here scratching up the carpet again. Lily, knock it off! Please stop. Go to your bed. So, and women in support groups talk about this all the time. They neglected their children they put their spouses on the back burner, and they wonder why, husbands are mad with them for joining an MLM, because they are indoctrinated to be working the business all the time and to be a spokesperson for the business all the time. When do they have time to actually be them? Seriously. I mean, I still have bags of paparazzi, which I plan on taking with me when I, start traveling again. I like leaving the little earrings, the starlit shimmer earrings, and other things for my room stewards. They like little gifts like that. That's something that my husband and I just started doing when we started traveling. We would get little, like, gifts from local vendors here, like Seattle chocolates. We would take Seattle chocolate bars, and we would leave them out for our room stewards. We would thank our servers with, a little something special. Why? Because that's just who we are. We like to thank people who take care of us. We take care of those who take care of us. I don't see the founders of paparazzi taking care of the people who are taking care of them. Instead, what I see is them belittling and shaming and, doing a bunch of things that show that they don't care. It's about what you can do for them. How are you enriching them? Is 10% of your income going to paparazzi every month or more? It's like a bad religion. You're not paying tithing to paparazzi, and you're not getting anything out of it. You're not getting spiritual blessings, and you're not getting anything. If you are not an elite or higher, you're not going to get anything from them. You're just basically the servants serving the master. And seeing these Bible studies and people pushing faith and religion on you through a multi-level marketing company, in my opinion, is blasphemous. It's hypocrisy and it's blasphemy. It's also taking the Lord's name in vain, honestly, because when you start spewing Bible and Book of Mormon passages to people and telling them that God wants them to do this, no. I don't ever remember Jesus saying, enrich those above you and let them control and manipulate you. There is a scripture out there that says no man can serve two masters. So who's your master and who are you serving? When you're in a multi-level marketing company, you have your upline. You have the company as a whole. Who are you serving? You're serving them. So I just see a lot of evil running rampant all over the world, but multi-level marketing companies are evil in a lot of different ways. But for me, I just couldn't do it anymore. And there's a lot of us out there that just couldn't do it anymore. You just can't be a part of something that you know is enriching some but bankrupting others. You can't in good conscience do something that is building somebody else up while tearing somebody else down. And that's what's been going on. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of. The bullying, the hate, the guilting, the shaming, the blackballing people is disgusting. The compliance police. Oh, this person, I'm going to report them to compliance because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not following the rules. No. Just like, people judge people for other things, like, let that be sorted out with their God when they die, But we're not on this earth to report other people and get them in trouble. You should mind your own business. And I've noticed that most people in multi-level marketing companies, they don't know how to mind their own business. They are always in everybody else's business to build their own business. Yeah. So take that for what you will. Those are my thoughts for today. blasphemy is just something that's how I feel about paparazzi. You know, you got to crack the crown somehow. But they're honestly cracking their own crown by being blasphemous, hateful, and disgusting people. So take that for what you will. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.